Hey y'all. So I'm in Greece right now for a writing retreat until the first part of July. And I wanted to go ahead and do our last 2 weeks of June astrology transits, what's going on from today until the end of the month, and the kind of themes that will be up for all of us. All right, so the biggest thing, and this happens every year, even though Saturn is a slow moving planet and doesn't change signs very often, it does retrograde every year. So Saturn just went retrograde in Pisces and will stay in retrograde until November 4th. So at the first part of this year, while Saturn was direct and moved into Pisces in March, we started taking on some new responsibilities, some new commitments, things that we wanted to do in the world, or things that were coming to us that we needed to take on. And when Saturn goes in retrograde, just like Mercury in retrograde, it's time for review. So that's going to last all through the summer until the first part of the fall, that we'll be reviewing those things that we want to take on, whether that's in career or in our personal life, or the things that have been put upon us, responsibilities. The cool thing about this retrograde, usually this is Saturn retrograde can be a heavier time, but in Pisces, in the placement of dreams and our intuition and our gut feelings, and in that 12th house of our subconscious, that's also trining Jupiter during that whole retrograde. So when Jupiter is with Saturn, we slowly but surely accomplish our goals step by step. Jupiter is, of course, the benefic planet of expansion and good luck and success and fortune. And here it's stabilized. It doesn't grow too big too fast. It's stabilized by Saturn, and Saturn wants to bring things into reality for us. So if we're really aligning with what we want and need, Jupiter's there during this beginning of this retrograde to help us see what that is and to flow into it. With Saturn in Pisces, it's a dreamier time where we really can access our subconscious. A lot of times with Saturn in Pisces, we do have more dreams, even at night, things that are coming to us, themes, answers, even feelings, questions. The themes that are up for us are often coming even into the nighttime for us. So we have to be really aware of what's our intuition telling us. Are we tapping into what's right for us at the time? Because with all of the Jupiter energy coming in, that gives us that lightness and that generosity, that patience, that fortune for hi. And closely following that retrograde, we have our new moon in Gemini coming up tomorrow. Let's think about and remember what Gemini means. Geminis are curious, they're thinkers, they love to have conversations, they love to learn a little about a lot. And that's the kind of vibe we want to take on. Be curious, be willing and ready for change. Look for the new and exciting, the things that are outside of the box for you that can be part of these new plans. So with the new moon, we'll quickly move in a few days to the sun moving into Cancer, the summer solstice, Mercury sextiling Mars, and Mars trining Chiron. Honestly, for the next 2 weeks, there are no squares or oppositions to speak of that are going to lead to friction. It's mostly sextiles and trines. So if you remember, sextiles and trines are flow. They're easy flow, good relationships. And when you have Chiron and Mercury and Mars there in that easy flow with Jupiter and Saturn, we can communicate our needs. We can think about our vulnerabilities from a very objective point of view. We can start looking at our fears, what we do and don't want in our lives, the things that are ready to go. We'll have clarity around that and clarity around communicating that to ourselves and to others. This is the time, so good timing for writing, communicating, talking, conversations, meeting new people, finding that reflection outside of yourself in other people, and being really curious about where that takes you and what kind of relationships you can form and what kind of new ventures you can set out. By the time we get to the 26th, we'll be at the first quarter moon in Libra. this is when the first obstacles arise. And this happens every month when we hit the first quarter moon. Remember, during the new moon, you're going to be thinking about your new intentions. What do you want for the month ahead? So that's tomorrow on Sunday. What do you want to see in the month ahead for yourself? What kind of change? And as soon as you implement those things and those ideas, that first quarter moon comes along, put some roadblocks, put some challenges. Do you really want this? Is this what you really want? You might feel resistance. You might feel blocks. And it's up to you to find that place to move through that resistance to continue on with the goals you set during the new moon. As I talked about these next 2 weeks having a lot of trines and sextiles, we have the Sun trine Saturn on the 28th. We have the Sun conjunct Mercury, Sun sextile Jupiter, Mercury trine Saturn. That sounds like a lot, and it is. But the main themes are, again, communication with Mercury in Gemini right now, and the new moon in Gemini. Jupiter with the expansion, good luck, patience, and fortune. And then Saturn that wants to come in and help you build and bring these things into reality. So it's expansive thinking. It's the nudge to express yourself. It's the nudge to share, to learn, to pass on knowledge, and to also receive and retain knowledge during these next 2 weeks. Now, for about 2 years, we've been in a Taurus and Scorpio moon cycle, a lot of Taurus or Scorpio new moons and full moons and eclipses. And now we're heading into, with the start of the new moon in Gemini, the Gemini Sagittarius polarity. And that's where we'll be for the next couple of years. What that means is the new themes that'll be up for us are around communication, around learning, community, our truth, philosophy, sometimes religion, how we express ourselves through our beliefs and our value system. And again, that Gemini theme of curiosity and learning and intellect, communication. So all of those themes, those subjects will be highlighted throughout the coming 1.5 to 2 years. So we're kicking off that new cycle. And whether you own a business, have a career, or in a place where you've wanted to speak your truth or wanted to ask for what you needed or dream about what that kind of dream job or dream career would be for you, this is the supportive time to do that. Now remember to always look in your natal chart where Gemini is this month, whether it's 7th house, 2nd house, 1st house, and that will show you the themes of what will be up for you in the next month ahead. But also during this whole cycle, let's say it's in your 7th house, relationships will be up for you. Collaborations, partnerships, love relationships. Where can you communicate better in those arenas and in those personal relationships that you have, or even relationships and collaborations in your career? Whoever you are working with, how can you better build that relationship through communication? So let me see if there's anything else I missed for us. We've got the new moon, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Remember to look at your calendar for void moons and avoid signing any contracts or making major purchases during a void moon. And just remember that this whole Saturn retrograde season until fall is time to kind of review and get things in order before continuing on in the fall. What are the lessons, the tests, the challenges that come up? What's that showing you? How is that informing you about what you want for the months ahead? So I'll see you all again soon in a couple weeks. It was nice to virtually chat for a little bit and hope you're all doing well. Take care.